Hi everybody, welcome back to my modern homestead. Today I'll be behind the camera as we go along and I show you what we've been doing on the homestead. We've been getting the garden ready and our raised beds. Let's go. The day I started this video, it was very warm outside. And Bill started first thing in the morning wanting to get the corn planted. So here you'll just see him, the way he does his rows. He just uses his hoe, makes the, I don't know, what do you call it, a little trench for the corn. So he started on this side of the garden. And then the puppies, of course, they decided they needed to be involved. They're into everything. But anyway, he decided that he actually needed to start on the other side of the garden to follow the way the rows curve. And while he did this, I didn't just stand there and record. I was on the other end of the garden, and I was using the action hoe to pull up some grass in the areas, well, not the areas, but the one area I wanted to plant the peppers. So you didn't see me doing that because I was actually doing that and didn't record myself. Oh my goodness, these puppies.
No. Stick the bucket right there.
As the day wore on, it got really hot, and y'all don't go from doing nothing all winter to thinking you're going to hoe the garden on the hottest, most humid day of the year so far. Oh, goodness, I don't know what I was thinking. I got out there, and before I knew it, I got sick just all of a sudden out of the blue and had to go in. I was done for the day, but it felt so good to be out there in the garden getting things done. This is a method of planting that I introduced my husband to a couple years ago. And y'all, it really is so nice. I've seen other people doing it too, but we've done it for the last couple years, and it makes planting so much easier. And in case you've never seen it, all that is just a piece of PVC pipe. You just cut it to the length you need and drop your seed. I've seen some fancy ones, but we don't do anything fancy, just the pipe.
Yeah, just like everything else.
Now later on in the afternoon, it was about evening, I went back out with
Yeah, it's fine.
my husband and we talked about where we wanted to do the collards and all the other plants. So he decided he wanted to do the collards going this way, and I said, okay, that's fine, no problem there. So I told him to drop a couple seeds in one little spot and go a few inches and drop a couple more seeds. And he was doing a long line, but it doesn't matter. Whatever makes him happy, hey, he was doing it. I'm good with that. And then he just went back and just tamped them in. You don't really need to cover those seeds because they're so small. You just tamp the dirt down and then water it in really well.
Like a cold weather plant.
They can't plant them in the cold.
I've always seen them like planted in the fall.
What you can do. Okay.
All this is corn.
So there's 15 rows of corn there. Go ahead.
Two okra. Whatever them green things was, just wanting that Cherokee.
Cherokee wax.
Yeah, right there.
How many rows? One.
You got 4 rows of purple whole peas. You got 4 rows of cream peas. And then 2 rows of green ones.
Okay.
Looking at his shadow, I think it was earlier in the afternoon than I remember. But anyway, later on that he and Jake actually finished up my planters and got those placed. And then this morning we actually started the process of filling them up. And we have a lot of dead wood on this property, so we just took some of the dead wood and filled in the bottom of each planter. And in a minute you'll see on the top of this we're going to use a layer of what looks like really good compost, but it's actually ash. My husband is a truck driver and he goes to a lot of refineries, and the refineries use wood in their furnaces to run the refinery, and when they need to clean those furnaces out, he hauls this ash that's been burned from all the trees. So in between each load, he's required to clean out his trailer. So when he comes home, he has to sweep it out. So he piles it all into one pile, and this was the perfect use for this. I'm not sure if it's considered biochar or not. If you know more about it than I do, you can let me know below in the comments. But whether it's biochar or whether it's just ash, this was just a perfect use for it. Here you can see what a really good thick layer of the wood we have down in the bottom. This helps so that we, or if you want to do it, you don't have to put so much wood down, so much dirt down in the bottom of it, especially if you have to use potting soil. Could you imagine having to fill that whole thing up with potting soil? Gracious. And this is that ash I was telling you about. Doesn't it look like pretty compost? You wanted to put your hands in it, but I wouldn't advise that. That stuff gets everywhere. And I should mention too that he doesn't have to clean between every load, just if he switches the material he's actually hauling. He's required by a lot of the companies to clean that trailer out. And instead of that stuff just sitting there going to waste, we just put it to use right here in our little boxes. We didn't do a really thick layer, just basically covered up the wood. after we got the ash down, we came in with native dirt and filled in most of the rest of the box. Now, on top of this dirt, I also used an organic fertilizer, some kelp meal that I've had for a while and I needed to use up. That stuff goes a long way. And then azomite, which is just really fine ground rock dust that is wonderful for putting in trace minerals into your dirt. And you can't really use too much of the rock dust, so I didn't get too picky. And I'm sorry my video did this at this point. I don't know what in the world happened. But for the organic fertilizer, it was Dr. Earth's, and the kelp meal and the azomite, I just added in 1 cup, excuse me, 1 cup on top of the dirt. And then in just a second, you'll see that we add 1 more layer and mix it all together. Yes, it's the black cow. We topped the beds with, most of the beds got 4 bags. One of the beds got 3. And I'm so excited to try this year. It will be our first year using it. I used it in a lot of the stuff in the big garden, but I'm really excited to put it here. In one of these beds, I'm going to do asparagus. And in the other beds, I'm going to do a lot of herbs and lemongrass and ginger, that type thing. I'd love to try some turmeric. If y'all know where the best place is to get that, y'all let me know down below. I really want to try it. And here Bill is. He's just mixing in the first, I guess it's 6 inches, 8 inches of dirt with all the stuff I added into it with the black cow. I'm hoping this is going to be really good for planting in. I just have a feeling, y'all. I just have a feeling it's going to be good. I hope y'all stick around and watch with me and see what happens. Now, when Bill got done mixing all of this together for me, he went out and he fixed some of the sprinkler heads, and he also started working on the chicken coop after lunch. Now, the coop itself is done, but he was running this fence, and Jake was helping him. So they got most of that done, but it got to be late, and they had to run to the store and pick up a few things they needed to finish up, like a gate. And anyway, I'm just going around showing you the actual run that's closed in. I'm not so sure, y'all, that I like the top being open. I'm not real crazy about that. I've lost too many chickens with an open run. But, beggars can't be choosers.
And poor Bill. He came out here to plant these. He forgot he was supposed to put a planter right here under this window. So I don't know if those will live there forever or not. It's almost time to get the chickens. I came out here and hoed up a lot of the garden. I still have that patch of grass over there I need to get to, but at least I got this much done. It's hard to see the plants in the sand when the soil's not wet. But here are the peppers. I've still got more to put in. There are tomatoes. This is lettuce and cabbage back there. Y'all help me out. I don't know which is beets and which is Swiss chard, but that's something right there. And this is celery. It's probably not going to do much this year because we got it in late, but at least I know that it will grow here if I get it in early enough. And these are squashes and cucumbers down there. They need to be fertilized. Then we've got cantaloupes. And the next row is, what is that? Watermelon. And then we've got 2 different types of pumpkins. And then I've got candy roaster squash and butternut squash. This here where you can see the rows going this way, that's 2 rows of collards just before we get to the peas. This whole section right here, down, across, all of that is dry beans, or not dry beans, but different types of beans. I need a bigger garden. There were way more beans than I wanted planted. Of course, Bill told y'all the types, but I'm doing this because I don't know if y'all could hear him. And then that down there is all corn. There are 15 rows of corn. All right, let's go grab some lettuce for supper tonight. Y'all want to? Well, I wanted to, but my husband has the sprinkler on. I can't get in there. Well, I mean, I can, but I'll get soaking wet. Oh, sorry, Happy. Nana. Oh my goodness.
Is it not even old enough to know what belly scratches are?
Oh, that's all right there.
Boy, oh, that was really big, isn't it?
Mama.
She said, I'm sleeping. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, when I harvest my lettuce, I only take the outer leaves. That way we can get more than one harvest out of it. So I'll do that for all of these lettuces down through here till I have what I need in my bowl. Daddy's calling you.
Sir.
Anybody give the puppies water today? Yes.
Millie says y'all are ignoring her.
Sorry, Millie, I threw it. It's just little rats.
Mama. Hey, buddy. First harvest from the garden. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to end the video right here, but don't go anywhere. I'll show you us planting more in the planters and getting those all ready to start growing. But as always, you know I love it when you come and spend a few minutes with me. So until we meet again, may you be blessed. Love you guys.